And here we have it. The next match is ready. Acorn and Cold are on once again. What seems to be an aggressive type of time here. They have Dorito and Belmar Yasir in mind. But Cold, backside completely open to another duo. Doesn't even care. That duo doesn't want any of the action here. They're playing for a little bit of a center zone. Cold's going to get punished in the process here. In a bit of a scramble, the 180 though to put down a player, and he's got the trade. It's up to Acorn to go ahead and close the deal here. It's a bit of an even exchange on both sides. Acorn loses Cold in the process. Cold is now officially down and out. Acorn's just gonna go for the full reset here. Dorito thinking if he can play for the pickup, but Acorn's gonna be pretty quick. This is his wall here. That's his wall as well, but he missed the shot. The edit was bad too. And this is dangerous, dangerous territory. It's Crackly, it's Zone who pull on up. Very experienced duo. Crackly, no stranger to competitions, playing a lot of zero build, but people forget this is his roots here. This is where he comes from. And this is going to surely put him back into the conversation here. For Zone and team, I mean, they do a lot of damage. Dorito's hurt, Taco.
Dorito is severely hurt right now, but he's not the only one. Acorn being left to fare as a solo here, having watched his duo Cold just get full elim'd in front of him by Dorito. Dorito as well will meet his match here. Zone and Crackly, they don't want a part of it initially, but once they recognize some of the shots that were taking place, they realized that they had such a great opportunity to not only collect some surge damage, but also just get some great resources, some great refreshes early on. And now Acorn possibly just hoping that he can get the reboot card here for Cold. If he's actually able to get Cold rebooted though, that could be massive, but at the same time, it could leave them in a pretty tough position here as we approach the end game, MDF, because again, they're gonna have to spend time just refarming resources there for Cold.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if there's a time to do it, it's pretty much now. As you can see, even Booga and Aviv are comfortable in the storm right here, trying to buy themselves a little bit of time. And they have options too, right? They have heals here, they have launch pads, rifts. This is so much they can work with right now. Look, Acorn in the right position at the right time to pick up his teammate. In comes Cold. You hear the shots come out though. So Cold already attracting attention from the lobby. But now they are below the surge, so all that damage seems to have been wiped clean. And yes, although they may have 2 eliminations, this might still be a pretty tough spot to fight their way out of.
And look, I kind of get it, because when you have an 18 elimination Victory Royale burner, it's hard not to want to just repeat that same key mentality. But Cold maybe letting a little bit of that hyper aggression get the better end of him, just kind of took those box fights rather recklessly. And Acorn just wasn't able to assist him in the way that he would have wanted to. I mean, it's great that he's back up and running now, but really want to check in with that duo later on to see how they fare in comparison to some of these other teams like Asian Jeff, like Oliver OG, who are kind of just fighting their way through fencing fields.
Crash pads in hand as well. Plenty of tech to play with, but no AR ammunition, so pretty tough spot for Jeff to be in here. He's going to have to back up to Oliver, help Oliver heal up as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, Booga and Aviv come in late from the storm and get taken out by Tavern and Peace. And just like that, they get put on ice for a second. We were just talking about, they were like pacing, you know, top 15, right? Slipped down to top 16. Now, it's going to put a little bit more pressure on them to perform their cushion being given away.
But Jeff, Oliver, a couple more moments. I thought that Asian Jeff was going to go for that aggressive fight here up against Peace and his duo. Instead, just looks to reposition. Quinn going to grapple blade right on by, and Pollo and Peterbot, again, another team that's really been hyped up as far as their mechanics are concerned, but those same mechanics, you kind of want to see it translate into some aggressive fights here. It's Cold and Acorn. I mean, aggression is basically all they've been dealing with this entire match so far. Is a med kit will buy Cold a little bit of time and that Flowberry Fizz, but this is not a great spot.
You know what, though? Acorn did pick up an elimination getting to this position here, so they're fighting tooth and nail right now to try to stay in this game here. The lobby seems to have given up the attention and focus on them for now. Cole gets pieced on the rotate here, but still have a ways to go. One more box up and things should settle down, but no, Acorn caught in traffic, and he tries to close the gap to get to Cold there. I'm not sure what went wrong. They both had grapple blades and just about everything they needed, but he must have just gotten super unlucky, landed in a position that got him pieced up for a moment there. So the shoes are exchanged now. Cold is gonna have to play this one out by himself. Meanwhile, Peterbot, boy, yo, in a fight here, 5 elims so far. Talked about them a lot at the top of the show, right? One of the most mechanical teams we've seen come together. But we all know that mechanics are not enough, right? You need the game sense. You gotta play smart. Let's see if Peterbot can put all of his learnings together here alongside Pollo. He's gonna dance on Jeff. Everyone knows the big spotlight on Jeff nowadays. So big 7 elims right there is gonna set Peterbot up. Feeling pretty good right now.
I think that's what Peterbot does so well, though. It's not even just, it is a full-on mental game when you are dealing with Peterbot in your lobby. And just like that, he's ready to move on to his next target, but he gets 8 up on that grapple blade rotation. Tough stuff, too, when you're just watching your shield get practically fully depleted. I mean, 2 shield left on Peterbot. He's gonna be able to resustain it, of course, but it's just kind of keeping you on your toes. You can't just use these grapple blades as freely as maybe some of these players are trying to actually get away with. Instead, gonna be Chimp looking to rotate off of that Flowberry juice, and now the Scissor right next to him.
And this is about a center of the zone can come finally. Let's get a little bit of a different vibe here on the broadcast. We're right outside the ruined reels. And this is all dead center. It's going to get away from the water, play over the land, relatively smooth territory. And this is where it becomes real textbook. It starts to feel like a creative game, if you will. Not too much crazy elevation, not too many secrets. Oliver OG, though, finds a secret of his own down in the low ground there as he gets taken out. Meanwhile, Chimp and Sire's also in this game. Okay. A lot of feature time here for Cold, though. Still in the running here. Finds another Elan. Not giving up by any means.
Just kind of barely managing to hang with that damage threshold. 94 above. So Cold looking to pull himself into the front side of zone, but immediate box up. Decent amount of builds as well for a solo here, MDF. He can just remain a little bit more hidden, but that's just not Cold's playstyle. Looks as though he's trying to find an elimination, see if he can maybe find someone to potentially drop him some small shield potions or even a shield potion, any sort of shield sustain. Is really all he's looking for.
Oh, that was so good. That was so good. Recognizes Lancer, tries to run out the side there, catches him with the cone, and then edits it immediately there. No time wasted. And that's just how deadly Cold can be right here. You let your guard down and you're gonna get sent back to the lobby. And it's just incredible to see how medkits have made such a resurgence here. Being able to use it on the move like this, it is just such a great addition to the game. A subtle change, but it changes everything and makes it so relevant to play in a high-paced speed like this. Acorn's gonna stay in his zone. Meanwhile, on high ground though, TK and Bacon are setting themselves up to take a win here. TK, no strangers to FNCS lobbies, no stranger to, you know, the pressure. And neither is Peterbot. Take a look at this. He's by himself as well.
Unfortunately for Peterbot, Pollo getting mixed up with some of these other teams in these mid-ground layers, and now Walker's forced to drop full bottom side. Finds an okay refresh, but immediately gets Edelin the moment he tries to mantle up after collecting those materials, so won't get any use out of them. But Peterbot again trying to charge forward, trying not to draw too much attention here.
Nice tag.
Beautiful succession there.
Oh my god.
Peterbot just continuing to piece him up. Now fully charging.
Watch him work. Look at how he turned that around. A 2v1. This is what we talked about. Mechanics, mechanics, mechanics. You put Peterbot in endgame, especially if he's feeling it. You're going to see it come to life. And all of a sudden now it's Peter Bot's high ground.
It's just the fact that a solo is the sole contender towards that high ground. And yet, Bacon forced to give up that positioning. Peterbot, though, might have bit off a little bit more than he could chew here on the ultimate low ground. He's gonna turn through the wrong wall here and will meet his demise, but still a really solid run for a solo clutch situation there. Pollo definitely gotta be happy with his duo's performance in that regard.
Yeah, look at this. Vert, no extra heals, just the one make. He's going to try to tap off here. Vergo on the low ground does have a little bit of work with, so this can really go either which way. Chip has to come back. He does eventually come back to the fight there. Puts a little bit of pressure on the low ground team, but it's not going to be enough. Vert and Yuumi have to come down and take this fight. They are the notable of the two here, but Broken has been in these kind of positions before. He's experienced here. And look, poised, defensive, on the low ground, waiting, and they just don't see it coming. Vert and Yuumi drop the ball, and they should have had that game in the bag, but they get outperformed by Broken.
Just a wonderful masterclass as far as making sure that you connect your shots is concerned.
You love to see it. Excellent positioning there is going to put them in a position to go ahead and swing things around. Hey, look, a second place 8 Elam is still a wonderful game, but for Vergo and Broken, look at how they outplay the situation here. Vergo finds a tag, swings around, jumps down, and closes the deal in spectacular fashion. And just like that, another one is inside the book, Zeke.